Welcome in, everyone. So happy to have you here. You are probably watching this because somebody that cares enough about you wants to make sure you are positioned for the greatest wealth transfer in human history. So today we're going to look at and see if you are positioned for the digital wealth transfer that is happening right now. Before we get into the presentation, just so you guys know a little bit about me, my name is Mike Tharp. I am from the great state of Michigan, and I've been in the blockchain cryptocurrency space since 2017. I was a history, government, and economics teacher for 17 years. I was fortunate enough to retire about 5 years ago, and now I'm able to spend my time helping people get educated and learn about blockchain and cryptocurrency to make sure they are positioned for this digital wealth transfer. Let's get into the presentation. Put away the distractions, guys, because this is going to be absolutely life-changing if you take action. And as I've tried to help people understand the revolution of blockchain and cryptocurrency, the biggest mistake I see people making is just not taking action. They think they need to know how everything works before they start to dip their toe in this new revolution. And that's the best thing about Texas Coin, is that you can learn while you earn. So I want you guys to watch this short video and to think about which one of these people would you be? Would you be the person that would take action and profit from these great inventions throughout time? Or would you be the person who just kept saying, yeah, I don't get it?
Behold, I've discovered fire.
I don't get it.
It's a wheel. Now we can use it to transport things.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's electricity. We can light our homes and power machines.
I don't get it.
This is computer. It will change the way we connect and communicate around the world.
Yeah, I don't get it.
This is a cell phone. Now I can call my loved ones anytime, any place.
Yeah, I don't get it.
This is Bitcoin. It's borderless, incorruptible money that can't be inflated away.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So as you guys saw there, throughout history, right? And even in recent history, I mean, people grossly underestimated, the significance the internet or the cell phone would change the way that we live our lives. And people are still doing that today with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that allow us to bring the power back to the people. Now, let's first diagnose the problem. And it is a money problem. We continue to see war, poverty, and struggle. People in their 20s and 30s cannot afford houses today. Even people making six figures now are living paycheck to paycheck. And until we decide to do something different, this is going to continue to happen. People getting 2 and 3 jobs. Back in the 50s and 60s, one income earner could give you a decent life. Now we have 2 of them in the household working, and they're still barely able to survive. And this all started, and I used to teach this all the time when I was a history teacher, with the Federal Reserve. So let's make sure we understand what we are up against and how they have turned us into slaves.
Jekyll Island, November 1910. 7 bankers meeting in secret to create America's central bank. We just can't call it that.
The 1907 panic nearly destroyed us. Banks failed, fortunes vanished.
We want to control America's money supply, create booms, trigger busts, and profit from both. And how will we do that?
We'll create money from nothing, loan it to the government, and charge interest. Legal counterfeiting, my friends. But there's a cost. Every dollar we print steals value from existing dollars. It's a hidden tax that flows directly to us.
And it gets worse. If we ever get off the gold standard, governments can print money for wars. Endless wars become possible and profitable.
Since Americans hate central banks, we'll call it the Federal Reserve. Sounds governmental, doesn't it? It's not.
The president will appoint board members,
but we'll pick who he appoints.
We'll have 12 regional banks. Looks decentralized, democratic even, but New York banks control them all. That's us.
You're probably wondering how we're going to get this through Congress. December 23rd, 1913. Most of Congress home for Christmas. Perfect timing for passing unpopular legislation.
I'll publicly oppose our own bill in Congress. They'll pass it thinking they beat Wall Street. We'll fund university chairs, write the textbooks. They'll teach our system as economic science. Beautiful. Every American born after this will inherit debt on money we created from nothing. Generational servitude. The Federal Reserve. Not federal, no reserves. But everyone will think it's their government protecting them.
Good afternoon.
So maybe you were taught this in school, maybe you weren't. But to me, this is the biggest mistake that people don't understand, is that the value of the dollar will continue to go down. That is one financial certainty we will know. The question is, what are you going to do to escape this rat race? Because you cannot outwork inflation. You can continue to get 2 and 3 jobs and try to make more dollars, but in the end, they're just going to continue to create it and print it out of thin air. And it gets worse than this, guys. This isn't just about, what can we buy, our standard of living. We are talking about real financial slavery here. And this next video really puts it into perspective that it's not just money they're stealing. They're literally stealing people's lives.
Central banking is an institutionalized system of time theft, because ultimately the fruits of your labor are a product of your time or energy, right? Time and energy used synonymously here. We printed $6 trillion in 2020, right, in the US. The average annual US salary is $60,000 roughly. That's 100 million years stolen, right? Through the counterfeiting of currency. If each human works from the age of 20 to 70, so that's about 50 productive years per human, the counterfeiting of $6 trillion USD equals the stealing of 2 million human lives worth of productive labor. Right? This is to try to make it real, like it's a real massive problem. And then, of course, the plausible deniability that's built into inflation, right? It's Putin's fault. It's Beyonce's fault. It's the supply chains. It's everything but the central bank. So again, we're back to that romantic lie, the deception and the stealing going hand in hand. I think this is hopefully what we can deliver as Bitcoiners is.
So I hope you guys grasp that here, right? Yes, we struggle. Yes, we have to continue to work more. But we're talking about literally the robbing of human lives, right? We have to work. We have to spend our time and our energy to get this thing that we call money or dollars. And in an instant, in 1 year, in just America alone, $6 trillion were printed. 100 million working years stolen from people. And as he said in the video, 2 million lives stolen in just 1 year from one country. So I hope you guys understand the problem. And I believe the solution is blockchain and cryptocurrency. Our old system is centralized. I want a system that is decentralized. So if you guys are new to this, just to put it simply, blockchain is the technology that allows money, data, and files, and you could even say energy, to be sent and securely stored digitally to anyone in the world. Quick, cheap, and easy with no middlemen. Think of blockchain technology like a car engine. When we take this blockchain and tweak it differently, that is called cryptocurrency. And so how we have BMW and Ford and Toyota, and they have all their different cars that they manufacture. In crypto, we have Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and Texacoin. And now again, I'm not saying you're going to fully understand how all of this works, but I can teach anyone how to use crypto in 10 minutes. I don't even know how my toaster works, but I use it every day, and it always gives me some good bagels. Now, the big picture here, guys, right, is decentralization. In our old financial system, the one that's currently in power, there's all sorts of centralized middlemen. And of course, they take their fees, right? Every time we swipe our card, Visa and MasterCard get 3% of everything we spend. And we now have, debanking and censorship, where if you don't hold the right views, or you post the wrong thing online, or you're connected to the wrong people, they can totally take you out of the banking system. I have lots of friends who have been kicked out of PayPal and Cash App and Venmo for whatever reason. And the problem, of course, is it's a centralized middleman of bureaucrats that want to control us. So if we want to bring the power back to the people and take away the power from the central banks, from Wall Street, from the big banks, we need to start using cryptocurrency and blockchain because it's peer-to-peer. I can send $1 million to somebody in Africa in seconds for pennies with no middlemen in between. No one can stop the blockchain because it's decentralized. So I hope you guys understand how this, yeah, we want to make money, but this is more about making money. This is about fighting for our freedom and independence from these centralized authorities who have enslaved us.
I didn't realize that if the average year the money printer goes, call it 8 to 10%, even in the Western countries, even in the OECD nations, and the average return on the S&P 500 is, call it 9-ish%, including dividends, maybe 9.7, maybe a little less, that it means that all of the work of the S&P 500, all of the value created there is actually the money printer. That to me was startling. I mean,
now before he breaks this down, I want to make sure you caught that. What he's saying is that inflation is really 8 to 9% a year. Now they fudge the numbers, and they have since 1980, and they try to tell us it's like 2 to 5%. But when you look at real inflation and you factor in the things that we actually purchase, it's really around 8 to 9. So, you know, those of us who were taught, you know, oh, just put money in your 401k and your Roth, put it in the stock market, you make 8 to 9% a year, compound that interest, right? Well, the stock market's going up 8 to 9% a year on average, but inflation is really 8 to 9% on average. So you're essentially treading water, but you're giving your time and value, that money you're sending to Wall Street every year, for them to hold on to until you're 60 years old, and then maybe you'll get some.
To think about that, the fundamental notion that in a closed system or even an open system, when you're printing money at the rate of 8 to 10% a year, everything is losing value, and the things that appear to be gaining value are not gaining value. They're just keeping you even. So you can put all your money in the S&P 500 and you're not gaining any relative wealth at all. That's a startling insight. I mean, when you really think about the entire value of the S&P 500, on average over a long period of time, not even a long period of time, is equivalent to the money printer. That's, to me, a shock. And it was a shock that said, oh my goodness, how do you think about creating wealth that is relatively greater in this economy? And you have to look hard. The other thing you can imagine is...
So this is one of my favorite slides, because again, how are we going to get ahead? You cannot outwork inflation. And just like he talked about how the stock market keeps going up because they create more dollars, we see the same happening in the real estate market. So your average median home in 2016 was $288,000. That same home, just 8 years later, now costs you almost $450,000. No improvements done to the home. It didn't get twice as big. It just costs twice as many dollars now, because you have more and more dollars being created out of thin air to chase a limited scarce resource like real estate. Bitcoin, Texacoin, and other cryptocurrencies are the same way. They have a fixed supply that's based on an algorithm and math and computer code. So we're trusting that, not human beings at the Federal Reserve or central banks who can print more money. So in 2016, you needed 664 Bitcoin to buy the average median household. Today, you only need about 6 Bitcoin. So we see the difference here. Over time, you will need more and more dollars to buy the goods and services that you want, because there's unlimited amount. It is backed by nothing. When it comes to Bitcoin and quality cryptocurrency projects, there's a limited amount. So over time, you will need less and less of them to buy those goods and services that you want. But you guys don't have to take my word for it. I want you to hear from billionaire real estate investor Grant Cardone, and how he has recently found out and discovered that Bitcoin and solid cryptocurrencies are now the new digital real estate that are better than the traditional real estate.
You're going to give me $1 billion in Bitcoin right now. I have 5 seconds to make a decision. $1 billion of Bitcoin or $1 billion of real estate. I'll take the Bitcoin right now. Why? I don't have to do a title. I don't have to do an appraisal. I don't have to do a survey. I don't have to go through the banks. I don't have to get a loan. It doesn't come with termites, tenants, evictions, the government, taxes, bullshit. Yeah, I'd take the Bitcoin in a heartbeat.
And that's the billionaire mindset. That's the billionaire mindset.
And he's not the only one. I mean, there's dozens and dozens of guys who have made tons of money in real estate who are now realizing a better, easier way for the future is digital real estate with quality cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Texas coin. Now, whether you guys want to admit it, there is no doubt anymore that digital assets are the future. This past summer, Donald Trump's administration passed 3 different cryptocurrency blockchain bills. They're getting ready to pass another huge one this December. Now, me being a teacher in Michigan, I never thought I would get my pension because they're so, mismanaged because, again, it's a centralized authority. But luckily, the Michigan pension fund did something awesome this year, and they are starting to buy Bitcoin and other digital assets. And BlackRock, the biggest hedge fund manager in the entire world, their CEO, Larry Fink, explaining Bitcoin is digital gold. And he's saying that when Bitcoin is only $30,000, it's around $92,000 today. And since then, BlackRock has bought $700,000 worth of Bitcoin, 75 billion. So if the number one hedge fund managers are doing it, and now we even have states, Texas is now buying Bitcoin. Just last month, they bought 10 million and plan to buy up to 30 million in the coming year.
I only care about one thing. Will we be number one in crypto? Crypto has turned out, and in that sense, I've been right. Crypto's turned out to be a massive industry, if you want to call it that. And
now you guys might like Donald Trump, you might hate him. I'm not here to talk politics, but when the president of the United States tells you his number one concern is that we are number one in crypto, I know where the future is headed. I still love Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin every day. I'm sure all of us have that story of we wish we would have bought Bitcoin earlier. Well, Texas coin is now your second chance at Bitcoin. They're very similar, except I would argue Texas has a lot of advantages that Bitcoin doesn't have. So they are both what's called a proof of work layer 1 blockchain. That means you need real physical supercomputers to run and secure the network. Just that alone makes us different than about 99% of all the other blockchains and cryptocurrencies out there. Now with Bitcoin, mining is very difficult and very expensive. You essentially need to have millions and millions of dollars to do it. With Texit, anyone can easily mine and get paid Texit every day. You don't need a computer. You don't need technical know-how. We literally help people that have no idea about crypto get started every single day. And really, Bitcoin lost its way because it's turned into a store of value. It's more like gold now, where you store your wealth in it. You're not typically using it every day for transactions. So Bitcoin is very slow and expensive to send, whereas Texas coin is super fast in seconds and costs a tenth of a penny to send. Now, those of you that are new, when we say mining, we don't mean we're not digging into the ground. The new mining in the digital age is using supercomputers like you see here. This is one of the ones that we particularly buy. So Texit is crowdsourcing to create 35 large physical mining facilities all over Texas. So when you purchase a miner, you're getting a certain amount of coins that each of these supercomputers produce each day of Texit. Now, why Texas? They have their own energy grid. They have cheap renewable energy, whether it be wind or solar. They have a very low regulation state and that spirit of independence. Actually, I went to a conference down in Miami where Eric Trump spoke, and he actually is starting a Bitcoin farm in West Texas because it has very favorable conditions. So the founder and CEO of Texas, Bobby Gray, about a year and a half ago, he had the vision of starting a made in America blockchain. If you guys don't know, most of the Bitcoin mining happens in China. And Bobby has been working in alternative currencies for over 15 years. He started the American Open Currency Standard. He actually created the original cold storage coin for Bitcoin. He's made some other tech plays. Beavis is a app you can get now that helps verify things on the blockchain. And then he founded Texacoin. Now, this is my favorite video to send to people to introduce them to Texit. I'm going to put a link to it down below in the YouTube video. I highly recommend you watch it so you can get Bobby's vision and mission that he has with Texit. But I don't want to play the whole 7 minutes right now, but I definitely check it out. So here's just some videos and proof of the mining facilities going in. This one is in Victoria, Texas. Lots of my friends have gone down and visited these and actually seen the mine in action. This is another aerial view of the one. So inside these fog hashing cargo containers, once they're fully operational, you have 200 miners in each one that is running and securing the network. So this is a little preview of what it looks like with the fog hashing. So right there on the left and right are where the miners they actually go in a, they're called immersion cooling. And because these computers get very hot, so they kind of use this oil, if you will, to put it in there to help keep the computers low and run a lot better. This is kind of the state-of-the-art technology that is being used now in mining facilities. So why buy a seat on the rocket ship? Why get a miner, right? Sometimes we call them a miner, a seat on the rocket ship, or it's technically 100 mega hash. So you're going to get Texit coins sent to your own wallet every day for the next 136 years, right? It's a one-time purchase that pays you every single day. I like mining better than buying because you don't have to time the market. You know, when are you going to buy? When are you going to sell? Well, if you sell, then you're out of the market. Mining is a one-time purchase that pays you every day. If you go to sell some, you get more the next day. Now the seats are also limited to 1 million. We're about 22% full now. So you definitely want to join this community sooner rather than later to start getting those digital rewards and make sure you get in before we sell out. So what does this look like? Well, we have an app on Google and Apple where you can download a wallet and you're going to register that wallet with Texit on your website. And then every day you're going to be getting Texit coins sent to this wallet. You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to push a button. Every day it goes to your own wallet. So these are two of my wallets. You can see every day like clockwork, I'm getting a certain amount of Texit coins sent to that wallet. Now, what you do with those is totally up to you. You can save them with the hopes that the price goes up. You can sell them into dollars and send them to your bank to buy dinner, pay for your gas, pay for your mortgage. You can trade it for other cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or XRP, or you can spend it on goods and services. There's lots of them already online and in Texas, and we even have ways you can use Texit to buy gold and silver. And of course, we'll be expanding that in the future. So we've already experienced massive growth. When I got into Texit, it was 40 cents a token. We've gone all the way up past $6. We're sitting right around $3 or $4 right now as the whole market is right down. But again, huge upside and because this is still a newer project. So getting in early, just like with Bitcoin, it's always a good. So be a part of a community making an American-made layer 1 proof of work blockchain with trust and transparency. No Wall Street, no banks, no hedge funds, no foreign countries interfering, just true honest money for the people and by the people. So of course, the number one question I hear is, what is the utility or use case? Well, number one, this is a layer 1. So when you send a transaction, you need a little Texit coin. So that's called a gas fee. So that's one utility. Like I said, you can buy goods and services with this. There's lots of restaurants and other places in Texas and online where you can do this or buy gold and silver. The big vision and mission here is to have Texit coin power downtown dollars, which are basically digital dollars that local communities in Texas and other states can use. So I'm going to show a quick 2-minute video with you guys and let Bobby Gray explain his vision for downtown dollars.
Unstoppable money. We can exchange any amount, anytime, day or night, almost for free, almost instantaneously, and we don't have to go through a gatekeeper to do that. And so if you're someone that's ever been frustrated with a bank or some sort of merchant service provider, crypto creates an alternative and a solution for that kind of thing. So how do we get people to engage it? How do we get people to like stop thinking about it in a scary, this is where hackers and bad people dwell, and think of it more in terms of, we've got a tool that can save our community some money and help keep cash here in town. And that's what the value proposition is of a community currency. And there are thousands of them circulating right now all over the United States. I'm here in McKinney, Texas. I didn't even know that McKinney, Texas has its own community currency. It's called the downtown dollars. And there are 25,000 downtown dollars that are spent every year across 200 businesses. It means that there's almost no economic impact whatsoever of the downtown dollar program. Why? First, nobody knows about it. Second, it's paper. It's like a gift card coupon that nobody knows how to use. Nobody knows where to get them or how to use them. And so what if a guy comes along that knows how to get a community currency working and going, that shows us how we can do it with a digital tool that's built on a blockchain that's made in America? You know, we've got all the right things there to engage the community in this non-scary kind of startup friendly way. And what we get with cryptocurrency that we've never had with any other type of community currency is metrics. We get reporting. We get the analytical data that allows us to see how much money goes in and how many times it moves around the community before it's cashed out and goes off to someplace else. We get to see the velocity of that money. We get to see how much economic impact that money has. And we get to see it in the most transparent and beautiful way so that the whole town can see our money at work. And that's a really cool thing. So that's the Downtown Digital Dollar Program. It's coming soon. We're in beta testing right now. We're almost ready to roll out our pilot. And it'll be very exciting to see how it performs as it compares to the traditional downtown dollars that McKinney has.
So just so you understand how massive this is, we're in talks with downtown economic alliances of about 300 communities in Texas to bring this on board to them and take those old downtown dollars that they had that were physical and turn them digital. And the beauty of this is anytime you're spending money at a local business, you're probably using a credit or debit card, and 3 to 4% of that is going to Visa or MasterCard. When these local communities start to use the downtown dollars, there's no fees going to Visa or MasterCard. All of that money is staying in the local community to help grow it and make it more wealthy. I had a good friend down in Texas that owns a pizzeria, and he said that his credit and debit card fees were about $18,000 a month. Think about that, guys. That's $18,000 just from one business staying in that community versus going to Visa or MasterCard. Now, the other cool thing is as we're building this mine, right, of these supercomputers, that is a utility and a use case and income revenue for this project. Now, this doesn't come to us, but this is here long-term to help grow the community and do marketing and advertising and get acceptance for the economic downtown dollars. So on the left here, this is one of the guys I follow on X or Twitter, and he does a lot of stuff with cryptocurrency. So he says, I'm mining over $30 a day worth of Dogecoin. I run 3 Bitmain L9 miners. So they're the same ones that we run. He hosts them and, pays money. But essentially, one of these makes about $30 a day. So some people will say, well, like, is this long-term? What happens when you sell out? How are you going to pay for electricity? What happens if you have to do maintenance? Well, the beauty of building a mining farm is it is essentially a money printing machine. So once we are built out, we'll have 35 mining facilities in Texas with 200 miners each. That's 7,000 miners total. And if a miner can make about $330 a month, that's $2.3 million. So this is called merge mining. Texas will be doing this with Litecoin and Dogecoin. Those are both 2 top 20 cryptocurrencies. So again, this is showing the longevity of, what we have here with Texas. The biggest thing about Texas is having a community. So when, this is another example of the miners. When someone purchases a miner, some of that money goes to marketing and promotion, because you need to have community. You need to have brand awareness so that people know about your crypto and your blockchain and they're using it. So we have a huge marketing budget. We actually sponsored the TCU Horned Frogs football team this year. We have billboards all around the country. A lot of them are in Texas or Florida or more southern, also pretty big in Colorado. So these are all over America right now. We actually have them in airports as well. I've been to the Dallas one. We have them in Houston. We have them in LAX. We have them in Vegas. We have them in Orlando. We have them in Miami. And I think Denver now too. So we're going to keep expanding this to help bring people and help them understand what Texit is. And of course, bring more crypto and blockchain education to the masses. We also love having fun, wrapping cars, decorating them, advertising, and bringing that brand awareness to Texit to the community. We also sponsor UFC. My team sponsored a boxing fight down in Miami. Shout out to Ron Johnson. And guys, we have fun and we make money. So would love to have you guys be a part of the community. Let me go over a couple common questions. Of course, we have those people that are going to say, I don't get it. That's okay, guys. If you're new to crypto, this is so simple and easy to get started. I think it's the best way to get started in crypto. Where do my coins go each day? Can I spend or sell them anytime? Your coins are going to come to your own wallet that will be on your cell phone, and you can do whatever you want to do with those. If you want to sell them, trade them, send them to somebody else, cash them out to your bank, you can do all of that. And we have training videos on how to do that. You can buy a miner, or we also call them a seat, with either crypto, USDC or USDT, or we can actually now do an ACH from your bank very easily. You will not get a physical miner. You don't need any technical know-how. There's nothing to set up. Anyone can do this. One miner costs $995. If you do pay with crypto, there's a way we can get it for $945. And what it will pay you each day is very difficult to predict because there's so many variables. Right now, one miner is kicking out about 0.4 Texit coins a day. Right now, our price is between $3 to $4. Now, I don't like to price, my wealth in dollars because I know the dollar keeps going down. I like to price it in how many assets do I have? So how much Texit coin do I have? I want to accumulate more Texit coin. I don't really care what the price is right now. And one thing I know is true is that when you do get a miner, every day you get more Texit coin. Now, just the mining alone is amazing. But if you do want to share this with other people, we have what we call our blue collar affiliate program, where the community rewards you for growing the community, right? For spreading our message. And every 3 people you bring in, you're going to get 2 free miners. So you're going to get more Texit coins every day just for sharing this. If you do that within your first 30 days, you get 2 free. If it takes you a little bit longer, that's okay. They'll still give you 1. All right. So we're getting our daily rewards from buying our miner. If you just tell 3 people, you'll either get 1 or 2 more miners. And then we also have our community bonus program, where it kind of works as a team. So as people on your team bring people on that get miners, you get points that turn into dollars. So when you get 3 points on your left and 3 points on your right, you get paid $1,000. 6 on your left, 6 on your right, you get paid $2,000. Now, we have a whole other video that goes into that if you guys are interested in really making some huge money, really changing your life. I know that has happened to me because of Texit. I know dozens of people on our team who have made significant changes and really transformed their life because they took this seriously and they saw this as the opportunity of a lifetime to get positioned for the digital wealth transfer. So guys, the digital revolution is here. The question is are you going to take action, or are you going to be one of those people who just say, I don't get it? We're here to help you guys. We're here to get you educated. So if you are ready to get a seat on the rocket ship, get back with the person who shared this with you. Because every day you wait, you're losing more Texit tokens. They get paid at around 8 p.m. Eastern every single night. So every day you wait is another day you're not getting paid with digital cryptocurrency Texit sent to your own wallet every single day. So guys, thank you so much for joining us on this presentation. This is America's blockchain. Let freedom pay you daily. Start mining today. We'll see you guys in the next video. Lace up. We are wealthy. Peace.